winners business. So Mr Power said on 22 April that, quote, the fund is not in the business of picking winners, end quote. Is that the position of the organisation?
Senator, the government has identified areas of the economy in which the NRFC can invest. That's clearly outlined in our legislative framework, and that's a clear direction from government about where we should focus our efforts. Our investment mandate directs us to operate commercially. We're required to target a specific rate of return, and we are working within the financial system and co-investing with others responding to demand signals from the market. And as I've just outlined, for individual investments, we have rigorous investment processes and due diligence requirements for each investment.
So I understand what the legislation says. I'm asking whether that's the position of the NRF.
I think it's a difficult question for the witness to answer in a different way. She's being asked.
Okay, why don't you take it on notice then?
Well, she's being asked for an opinion on something that Mr Power said.
And it's not an opinion. It's just sound estimates, and where
she's answered in an appropriate way.
Well, I don't agree with that, because what she said is actually a filibuster, and what she has said is actually what's in the legislation. What I've asked is, Mr Power said on 22 April 2024, the fund is not in the business of picking winners, and I'm checking whether that is the position of the fund.
Senator Bragg, she gave you an answer.
She didn't give an answer.
I think that
I don't.
without being picky about what filibuster actually means, her answer was short. It was to the point. It went to the organisation's responsibilities, and I don't think she can be asked to do any more.
Okay.
She certainly can't be asked to offer an opinion about what somebody else might have said and what meaning she might divine from that.
So, who's the spokesperson for the NRF?
Well, you could answer.
Sorry,
that
this is an estimates. I'm asking
at the moment.
To the witness.
Yeah, but the witness, I have said
the
at
level
the
of interference on this is ridiculous.
I've said at the beginning of the proceedings that Mr Power has been unable to be with us, and Ms Mannon's identified that she's the acting CEO.
I understand that, but this is sound estimates, and we need to ask questions to the witnesses that we have. So, who is the spokesperson for the NRF?
Senator, I'm appearing at the hearing today.
I understand that, but in a general sense, is it usually the Chief Executive?
Senator, the Chief Executive would make a number of statements around the operation and the work of the NRFC, as would a range of other people in the organisation.
Okay, but how many spokespeople are there?
I would think, Senator Bragg, that the National Reconstruction Fund has a but this is the way Senate estimates works. If we're schooling each other on how it works, I get to jump in from time to time, and the National Reconstruction Fund has a CEO, and it has a chair, and they may both, from time to time,
it's a very
make
paternalistic
statements.
approach here. You're taking.
Well,
you're not letting the official answer the question. Why?
I've just answered the question.
No, but I've asked the official.
And I've just answered the question.
Well, I can't because I'm being obstructed.
I'm entitled to answer the question. I just have.
Well, and I'm always happy to talk to you. It's nice to hear your opinion, but this is Senate estimates. I'm trying to get an answer from the official who's at the table.
Yeah, and I heard her.
Who's in an executive position at the fund.
I heard her answer the question. I've heard two answers to the question. If you want to put the question again, put the question again.
Thank you very much. Now, you would think that given the range of issues we traverse at this committee, we wouldn't have this level of interference usually. So I'm not sure what the problem is. How many spokespeople are there for the fund?
Senator, as I said previously, I'm attending the hearing today.
I understand that.
The CEO makes comments on behalf of the corporation, as would the chair and a range of other individuals in the corporation.
Okay, so there's a range of people who could speak on behalf of the fund.
Yes, Senator.
Okay, how many?
I'm not sure I can put a particular number on it, Senator.
Okay, how many people... So what is your day-to-day role?
I'm the Chief Operating Officer, Senator.
Okay. Do you make comments in the media about the fund?
Senator, I've not given an interview to the media.
Okay, you haven't. And who else has given media comments?
So there have been comments provided in response to media inquiries by the corporation. The CEO has participated in a number of interviews, as has our chair.
Okay, so the CEO, is he the main spokesperson for the fund?
I'm not sure what you mean by main spokesperson.
Is it the chair or is it the CEO who's making comments on behalf? Is this an independent agency?
Yes, Senator.
Okay, so the comments that an independent agency of government makes can be important. So I'm trying to ascertain who exactly speaks on behalf of the body. The CEO, you said, the chair as well?
Yes, Senator.
But that sounds like that might be it.
There are other board members who have made statements, Senator, and as I said, the corporation has responded to inquiries that it's received from media outlets and others.
Okay, so they all give comments, potentially.
I'm not sure what else you want me to add, Senator.
Okay, so Mr Power's comments are the position of the board. Are they not?
Senator, Mr Power, as I said, has made comments in a range of fora, not just in media interviews, about the activities of the NRFC.
Okay, and the points about picking winners, that's the position of the board and the management.
I didn't say that, Senator.
I think, Senator Bragg, I'm just not sure how you could possibly infer that.
I'm asking the question. I'm not inferring.
It's Mr. Power
the CEO.
was presumably asked a question by a journalist. He's answered the question. I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised, if there's a board meeting about what it might be that Mr. Power might say to some journalist about some question about the future direction of industry policy. I'm not quite sure why that would be the case.
But it sounds like you agree with Mr Power that the fund is not in the business of picking winners.
Well, it's not in the business of picking losers, Senator Bragg, that's for sure. This picking winners debate is a sterile, old-fashioned dinosaur debate from the 1980s. It is not a surprise that as your show clutches at straws over its position in relation to Future Made in Australia and the industry policy direction of the government, that there's still this talking about us, there's still this stuff all going on.
Free in your head, are we?
There's still all this stuff going on. I'm interested to hear what inference there is about what Mr Power might have said in relation to some question that he was asked by some journo. You get to work out how you spend your time in here.
No, well, we do, and we appreciate your ongoing commentary on our position. But my role here...
Trying to be helpful, Senator Bragg.
No, you are. You've been very helpful. My role here is to apply scrutiny to the government and your expenditure of public funds.
And that will start at some juncture, I suppose.
Your expenditure of public funds, the administration of government agencies.
And at the moment we're chatting about what the CEO of an independent organisation said in response to a journalist's question. I mean, honestly.
Okay.
So we will take then that you generally agree and the government agrees with what Mr Power has said. What has the chair? What has the chair said?
That's.
Sorry, did you want to say something?
Well, Ms Mannon has answered that question.
Yeah,
already,
I'm happy with that.
Transcript can be checked on what she has said.
I have to say, given all the very controversial and difficult issues we've traversed over many years in these committees, I don't understand why you're being so interfering on this.
I think because you just put words in the witness's mouth about what you say she said.
I put words in the mouth of the minister.
That is precisely what at least Senator Bragg and I agree on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. Okay.
Problematic.
So what we have on the record is statements from Mr Power. What does the chair think about this picking winners debate? Does the chair make his position known to the board or to the senior executives inside the fund?
What does the receptionist think?
Well, he's the chairman of the fund.
What are you talking about?
He's the chairman of the fund.
How would anyone know what the chair thinks
you set up this boondoggle fund with all this money.
What a journalist said to a CEO about something like
questions.
Honestly.
Okay,
it matters.
Okay, I am speaking,
and this is
I am speaking, and this is questions about opinions, and it is not in order. So, the witness is answering your questions in an appropriate way. We've spent 10 minutes on the same question.
Well, it's a $15 billion fund.
We're in the realm of the law.
Well, it's not appropriate to ask questions about opinion, let alone opinion on opinion. So I'd ask you to rethink your line of questioning.
Well, I appreciate the ongoing advice. We have the official here who is standing in the shoes of the CEO. I understand that it's unfortunate the CEO isn't here, but that's okay. I'm going to ask you some more questions about what the opinions are about the expenditure of $15 billion of public money, because we've spent a lot of time on governance today. Can I just check with Ms Mannon? Who decides how that $15 billion will be spent? Is it the board or is it the executive? Who decides?
Senator, the board is the decision-making authority. Right. As I mentioned in my previous comments, there is a range of governance that has been established to support the investment assessment process.
Okay, so it's the board. So we know what the CEO thinks. What does the chair think? Has the chair made any statements in relation to this issue of picking winners?
Senator Bragg, the board and the National Reconstruction Fund Corporation are working to fulfil the investment mandate that has been directed to us by the government to facilitate flows of finance into priority areas of the economy.
Okay, well, I've found something that he said. So the chair, Mr Wilder, is it? Wilder?
Correct.
I think he said on 22 April this year, of course we should be picking winners. Of course we should be picking winners. That's what the chair said. So is the chair the person that's going to make the judgment, or is it the chief executive who has the opposite opinion?
Senator Bragg, I'm having some sort of cognitive dissonance here. Like, what is the relationship between you trawling through what it is that people have, a phrase that people have used, and the governance of the board of the National Reconstruction Fund in terms of the way that
understand the fundamental problem
in terms of the way
what a mess.
In terms of the way that this fund builds the capability to make good decisions about future investments in the national interest.
Another boondoggle fund doing nothing with massive differences between the management and the board. Well, they can't even agree on the basic premise of what the fund's supposed to be doing. One says picking winners, the other one says no picking winners. What is it? Which one is it?
Well, neither of those propositions is at all germane to the job that the board has in front of it, which is set out in its investment mandate and set out in the legislation.
Who do you agree with, the chair or the CEO?
I agree. I'm sure that I could find a lot to agree with what each of them says in the context in which they said it, and I have no idea what that was in relation to those issues.
Well, does the fund pick winners or not? Does it pick winners or not?
The job of the National Reconstruction Fund is to assess within the scope that is set out in the Act.
Does it pick winners or not?
Projects
Does it pick winners or not?
That projects that meet the criteria of the fund.
He has done nothing yet. Does it pick winners or not?
And its job.
You don't seem to know. It sounds like you don't know.
It's been going for 15 minutes. I'll just let
if you're going to do sort of badgering the minister at the table,
answer.
do a good job of it. Right? Do a good job of it.
All right.
What's the answer? What's the answer?
It's not possible to answer with this sort of...
Okay, I'm done. I'm sharing the call.